So, Sonic Colors Ultimate. It's been out for almost about 2 weeks now, if you don't include the early access code for those who bought the game early. And I thought, well, it'll be interesting to talk about it because it's had quite an interesting development history, if I believe that's the right term to use it. And I'm not alone here. I got a few friends of mine here today. We've got the T-Squad leader, Temzy.
Yes, sir.
We got the Cast 2 Gamer XPool.
Hey, the pizza here. Hey, yo, the pizza
Hey,
here.
yo, the pizza here.
And we got Eldarin.
Hello.
So thank you guys for joining me.
Happy to be here.
No problem.
Happy to be here.
Let's start off with the visual appearance and like the graphics and that. And I want to start with Eldarin because this was your first Colors experience. So what was it like?
Yeah.
Your first time playing Sonic Colors because you never played the original.
I really enjoyed it. I actually went and 100%ed the whole game like right when I think it was by the time that because I pre-ordered it, so by the time that it came out for everyone, I had the game like completely done. So I really liked it. I don't think it's like the best 3D Sonic game, but like I certainly think it's like a solid like 8.5 to 9, you know what I mean? But in terms of graphically, I didn't really find it too the bloom and all that to bother me. But granted, I don't really that stuff doesn't really bother me, generally speaking. I definitely do think that the Wii version looks nicer in some areas, but with like Tropical Resort and stuff, but like in game it didn't look too bad. The only one that was like, oh dang, was the bloom on Starlight Carnival was the biggest, but overall the game looks really nice. But I'm kind of a graphics peasant. It doesn't really bother me too much with all the ins and outs stuff with that.
Yeah,
so,
I'm kind of the same in that situation.
Yeah.
I think what Blind Squirrel Games perfected was like the high quality textures. I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
They really nailed it, how it looks so crisp and nicely HD. The lighting, I will say, it was mainly a hit, except for a few spots. Mainly Tropical Resort. I found that just a bit of a mix. Like it just missed compared to the original Wii, because in the Wii version it was very more vibrant. Like it wasn't as dark. And I did hear during development that they went... Yeah, I think they said they were going for a more realistic or something because it's in space, so it's not as bright. But that could be, whatever. I want to go to XPool because you started your Sonic... I think because Sonic Colors was your first ever Sonic game.
Yes, Sonic. Yeah, it was one of my first, and after I recorded my footage for my original review, it went from being a game that I remember playing when I was younger and really liking to probably one of my favorite video games of all time.
Damn.
So that's quite a step up.
Damn. Holy crap.
The visuals of the game, to me, look fine. I don't know, I do know what I could talk about here. Some places like Aquarium Park, certain scenes in Planet Wisp, kind of, look pretty good. I will not deny that. Those look pretty good. But then you have places like most portions of Tropical Resort, some scenes in Sweet Mountain, and a majority of Starlight Carnival, like Eldarin was saying, don't look that good and look way too bloomy. I was playing Colors Ultimate just a few minutes ago. Not a few minutes ago, but maybe 30 minutes ago. And Starlight Carnival's road was just so bright. It was I didn't know how to feel about it. It was just
I must be the only one that didn't really mind Starlight Carnival. Maybe because I got used to the bloom by Starlight Carnival. Because
probably,
especially when when they were promoting the game, showing first looks, yeah, everyone really complained about the bloom.
I got used to it, but at the start of my playthrough, it did hurt my eyes a little. But as I progressed through the stage, it kind of like my eyes kind of adjusted to it. But I still think they could have toned it down a little bit though.
No, I think that's something that everyone can agree on. Like, it definitely, at least an option, at least for the, just an option to like just tweak it a little bit. But of course,
Yeah, I have seen mods that like decrease the bloom a bit, and it looks glorious. It looks so good. Like I was considering buying the PC version of Colors Ultimate just for that, but no, I'm gonna save my money for Monkey Ball. I'm just gonna do that.
Base.
Base.
Yeah, probably best.
Alright, so yeah, so I basically it looks great. The one thing I think everyone can agree on was the cutscenes. Now we know they've been AI upscaled from, you know, the original 480p on the Wii to, I think it's supposed to be 1080p. I'm not 100% sure. It's obvious it's AI scaled.
They said it was 4K, but it looks way more 1080p.
They looked like crap, like in my opinion. Like I was like, oh my god. Like I remember I saw that, I was like, oh, this isn't too bad at first, and then like the more that I was like looking at them, I was just like, oh my god, these don't look good, which is a shame.
Yeah, I remember. Like the thing for me is that for me the PlayStation 5 is in my room, and my room has a 1080p display, so I am not able to experience the full game in its 4K. So for me, like, it looked fine, but from looking at it I looked at like footage on a 4K display, and it just looks so jarring compared to the actual gameplay. It's just,
I use a 1080p. Mine's like a 144 hertz monitor, and it still didn't look good.
Probably is 1080p.
In my opinion, at least.
Yeah, I have a 1080p monitor as well. Yeah, output's at 75, but yeah, those looked absolutely terrible. They looked watery and just not nice.
Yeah, here's the thing, like, I think it looked fine when there was nothing much happening on screen, but then when stuff happened, you can tell it's obvious. You can see like just part of the outline where, like, you know, yeah, like what Temzy said, watery, and just some of the models, like especially around the like Sonic's and Tails' eyes, you can tell it's not perfectly, like, you can see it's a tad bit jagged.
I would say the one cutscene that they did get right, it's not even a cutscene. The opening for the you know, the Reach for the Stars, that was the only one that looked nice.
Yeah,
that was the only one that even looked decent.
I don't think they didn't even upscale the opening. What they did was they went on YouTube and looked at the Sonic Colors launch trailer, because that had a higher quality version of the opening, and just export and like slightly upscaled it. And
I can see them doing that because they stole that art from Mel Sonic. Well, I say stole, borrowed.
Oh, no, they did.
Borrowed that art from Mel Sonic. They did end up replacing it, but like, yeah, they shouldn't have done that in the first place. It's like they went on Google and just searched Mel Sonic artwork and just clicked the first result.
Yeah. But back to the cutscenes, it is really weird because, like, literally 30 minutes after the game was released, not even exaggerating, 30 minutes after the release of the game, it was found in the data of the files that the cutscenes, animations, and all the music and the audio.
Yeah, I can vouch. Yeah,
is still in the game. It's all in the game. But they have already been just like completely re-rendered. Everybody's like fixing them, quote unquote, and they're probably going to be modded in the game within the next month. About probably in the next month or two.
Like, people have it's just insane. We have like several people working on several different versions of this one cutscene, and it's just amazing seeing like their interpretations and re-rendering, and it's just so much better than what the official
people are
thing.
Like getting their own models and everything with them, and
one of them I saw on Twitter was Nibrock.
Nibrock. That was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I saw. I think I actually saw it because you liked it.
It did look a bit jaggedy, but like, again, he's not. From what I've seen, he's not like a professional animator.
Yeah, he's more of a renderer.
Renderist.
Yeah, renderist.
So Yeah, so obviously it's going to be a bit jaggedy, but if you got like a professional animator to polish some of the choppy spots, because I believe these are earlier versions of the cutscenes that Sega gave them. So if you got an animator,
They probably didn't have enough time to actually like do it.
I heard like the cutscenes were like jagged because they were actually meant for 30 frames per second, and he rendered it at 60. And for some reason, like the keyframes just didn't want to work.
Well, so I think Eldarin, you were talking about how like they probably wouldn't have time. To
Yeah,
put them
they
in.
probably didn't have enough time, so that's why they
Like
AI
I don't
upscaled.
feel like that would really make sense because it was leaked early on, but I do believe it's confirmed now, so I think I can properly bring it up without people saying, actually that's a rumor. But the game was in development during the COVID-19 stuff and like before.
Yeah,
COVID,
it was
I
in
believe.
development in 2019.
And like it was in QA testing, considered unplayable.
Yeah.
And like if they've been working on this game for over a year, I do not believe that it's like excusable for like a company like Sega with like a bunch of money for a budget like this for their top dog Sonic to like not have the cutscenes re-rendered. At the very least, keep the original visuals, and just like re-render them to make them properly 4K, not just upscale them with whatever app they have on their.
Oh, I'm not excusing it. I'm just saying because like in 2019 it was being developed in-house. I'm just trying to give like an explanation for probably why.
Right.
It's not excusable.
In-house? I thought like
but
wasn't it?
No,
always?
no.
Wasn't it always
No, in 2019 it was
No?
in-house.
Well, that's
yeah.
okay.
In 2019 it was in-house to like 2020, and then then it like the whole thing like looked like crap, and then COVID happened. I don't know this actual like specifics of it because I read it in I think Sonic Stadium had it up, but then they outsourced it to Blind Squirrel once they're like, oh, this looks like crap, because it was originally supposed to release in like Christmas time of 2020.
I thought it was like meant to release around the same time as the movie.
I think, yeah. I don't think about the movie, but I definitely heard about around December 2020 it was supposed to come out, but then it was like this is not playable. We cannot release it. So
and that's why they gave it to Blind Squirrel, which then is the reason why Godot and all that, or however you say it, was put onto it. So like so that's why I think that it's probably
so technically. Like with the Blind Squirrel version, this had less than a year
Exactly.
of development, which is kind of baffling.
And they also had to work on top of what Sega's people were working on. So it's a giant mess.
I thought they had to work.
But no,
let's get off this subject before we get too out of hand.
Let's not get crazy or controversial.
all right,
or high budget.
Or very high budget.
well, I just want to say one more thing though, if you don't mind.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
But like, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for them to just AI upscale for the time they had. Because remember, this is the same company that I'm playing Shadow the Hedgehog currently for a video right now, and the line, "Oh, we're going to the Ark, so it looks like we're going too," is still in it. So, and that was a mainline release also, So, then same with 06 with its dialogue inconsistencies. So like. I definitely think it's in the realm of possibility for them to, have to crunch it to go and meet a deadline. You got to do what you got to do, I don't blame Blind Squirrel really.
All right, so let's just get the elephant out of the room. Even though the game plays well, it looks decent majority of the time. It has had issues with technical issues like glitches, bugs, and problems. Now, I will say this out the room. I don't think it's all that bad because majority of them from what's been reported were mainly just visuals, visual problems and performance issues from across all platforms basically. So, like gameplay, it's not broken. The gameplay it plays how Sonic Colors originally played. It's just the just
I would argue that it
pop-ins.
plays better. I mean, they fixed the 8-directional movement, which was a big issue of mine from the original. Because from what I've been playing, it's fixed. Like, I can feel a difference. I can feel the difference when I emulate it on Dolphin and when I actually play the actual game. Maybe they toned it down, but like I can feel a definite difference.
I honestly think I thought this about the little bit I played of the original Colors, but I have always felt that Colors, and especially Colors Ultimate, is the best controlling boost game overall, in my opinion at least. Yeah, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent about it, but I just think that like it perfected with like being able to like feel precise while being at slow speeds, which a lot of the other boost games, Unleashed, Gens and Forces, don't really do, because you feel a lot more like a tank. And I felt like you still had that precision of at high speeds and at low speeds in Colors, and it was really, really nice being able to actually like feel like I was like, okay, I'm going here and I'm gonna actually like be here, in terms of like glitches and stuff. Super Saiyan, are you okay? Like, is audio? Can I talk about the audio ones also, or are you saving that for a section?
We can talk about that now. It's under my thing, but yeah, I think.
Okay.
Is it gonna? Oh my god.
I had a couple. It took me 20 hours to do literally everything in the game at this point. And I did not. I'm playing on the Xbox version, which is apparently the like this and the PC are the two best from what I understand. And the only glitch that I had was on Planet Wisp. I don't remember what act, but you use Spike and you can just go up an invisible wall and shoot out into space and then land in this one spot that you're not supposed to be in. That was the only one. I actually recorded the clip if you want me to send it to you.
I was about to bring up the whole Tropical Resort pipe not even functioning, but then I remembered, oh yeah, you didn't play the
Yeah, and then I only had the only thing that was like prevalent, which was really, really weird, but it still didn't like bother me, like, but it was still like, okay, this needs to be patched, was the audio mixing. I had one time where I was playing Egg Shuttle and it was dead silent, and like sometimes there would be like a sound effect and it would like echo. It was so funny. Like I would like lock onto something and it would just like echo, and then like nothing else would play. But a lot of the sound mixing in terms of the music would be in like one ear, and then the sound effects would be in another, and that was my only really complaints with it. Other than that, I thought it ran fine. I didn't have any crashes or anything. So yeah.
For me, when it comes to audio and glitches and stuff like that, you can vouch for me saying, literally just before we started recording, I was playing Egg Shuttle, and on Aquarium Park Act 1, I ran into a crash randomly, and it was really funny. But besides the crashes, I've experienced I believe 4 crashes at this point. But besides the crashes, there have been visual issues. Especially my biggest gripe is the Tropical Resort pipes, because if you played the original game, you can see that there's a little inside of the pipe that you can see with arrows.
Yeah.
And now it's just completely transparent. You can just see the dirt now, and it's so
I don't
that's
know
so
what
jarring.
happened there. I don't know if they just didn't render properly, or.
And then in the final boss, someone just banged on my door. In the final boss, the unlimited colors gate.
Yes.
Is just a blank texture.
Yeah, just white squares.
And,
I was so surprised.
Oh, that's
on the
cursed.
Switch version.
I didn't notice that.
On the Switch version, whenever you defeat Robotnik, it doesn't show the little Eggman firework, and that's disgusting. This is not tolerable. I can't believe Sega would do this. I hope someone got fired for that.
From what I heard with the the Final Color Blaster, I think from either Dario or someone from the modding community, I think they said the reason why it's showing the white, not shown properly, is because the game is trying to find the Jade Ghost Wisp in the thing, but since it's not programmed to be in the Final Color Blaster, I think that's what's happening. It's just using a maybe a placeholder. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I think the game is trying to find the Jade Ghost Wisp in the thing.
That wouldn't make sense though, because I'm talking about like the little gauge that goes down just being a white text,
Yeah.
not the icon.
No, I
or
think
anything like that.
I don't know. I heard something similar. I could be.
Temzy, do you have anything to bring up about the visuals before you
I actually wanted to go back to what Eldarin said about Sonic Colors getting the modern gameplay right. I would almost fully agree with that if the quick stepping and the drifting weren't locked to like certain sections. If they were free, then I would agree.
Yeah.
Especially with the quick stepping, I actually had to find like a backwards method to get the bumpers working with the quick step. Before you could only do it on the stick, but it turns out if you map like the D-pad to the bumpers, you can actually get the quick stepping working like in Forces, Unleashed, Generations. And it's kind of stupid that they didn't provide a way to map it the right way through the settings, and that's something I'm gonna get on. A lot of things in settings are missing that you should be able to customize. This is a remaster that was made in 2021. These things being missing is just like unacceptable.
Yeah, Temzy, I actually forgot about that. I 100% agree with you on that. Because like I remember I looked at the settings and on the Xbox, it was just brightness, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, and then they didn't. Yeah, the quick stepping. When I was saying controlling, I was mainly talking about just like soul platforming, you know. But like with I agree about the quick stepping and the drifting. The drifting in Colors is actually like my least favorite. I really like Unleashed personally.
Yeah,
that's
the
a whole
drifting
different...
colors feels off. It's really easy to miss it sometimes, and it can drag on for an extended period of time where you just want to cut through the path, but you're forced to drift. You can't even boost. You can air boost, which is strange, but you can't like boost regularly on the ground. I understand it's because the Wii controller, like, they had limited buttons, but since you're bringing this onto modern consoles, you should be able to like change that. It's a modern remaster.
Well, that would, you see, Temzy, the thing that you need to consider is that would require work, and this is Sonic Colors Ultimate.
Point taken.
Bro.
Anyway, is that all I wanted to bring up?
I'll
or
quickly,
should we go on?
because with the whole drifting, I never liked how it felt really restricted in colors, that you only can drift in drift sections and you only can do quick step in quick step sections. Especially when mapping the quick step, that should be a thing. The drifting, I don't mind because I think I just got used to it, because again, you really hardly drift in the game at all. I mean, even in the drift sections, you don't even need to drift. You just have to, you can either just, just move around slowly around to avoid drifting. But yeah, that's my main thing. And I mean, with also consoles and PC, the stuttering, it does need to be tweaked, because majority when it stutters, it's always when the UI pops up for like saying, oh, use this button, it always stutters. At least on PC. I'm not sure about consoles, but I know definitely on...
It probably is only on PC, because like for one, I have not experienced that, and secondly, I don't know if you have this on your notes, but Denuvo is on the PC version of the game.
Oh, that
Denuvo
sucks.
is known for making games lag.
Yeah, Denuvo
because it is
sucks.
constantly updating and always checking for updates.
I remember Sonic Mania had it, but enough people complained and they took it off.
Yes, it did. Yeah, they did take it off, but they kept it for TSR, and they had it in Forces, but then they removed it later on, I believe. I think it's a thing where people buy enough of the game. Like, people buy enough of copies of Sonic Mania on Steam. They're like, okay, people have bought this, we'll go ahead and remove Denuvo. It's been like a year or two, let's remove it. And that probably happened with Forces, and then it's probably going to happen with TSR eventually, and then maybe whenever it comes over to Steam. Well, no, not when it comes over to Steam, because then it'd be on pirating sites immediately. But like maybe like 6 months after it comes to Steam.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy Colors Ultimate when it goes on when it goes to Steam for PC. Myself. There was one thing I forgot about until it just came to my head. On the Xbox, when you're in the customization menu, this is under the glitches. it like freezes for a second when you go to the customization. Like
that happens on PC too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's
that's
version.
everything.
it's on every.
The power of the Xbox Series X, everybody.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm playing on a Series S.
Yo, the new SSD going crazy.
And one thing that was kind of annoying with the whole quick resume, which is like a big thing for the Xbox, is like it doesn't work on colors. It boots you back. Yeah, if you're looking for the quick resume, don't do it on there.
Yeah, I think they developers have to. I believe they have to enable that, but I could be wrong. It might be the other way around. But either way, what are you doing? Because I know like Crash 4 doesn't have it. I believe like every Sonic game already has it. I know 3 has it. Adventure
Freaking
has
Unleashed
it.
does.
Unleashed does have it. All the Sonic games have it. So I don't know.
Is it
what's going on.
because the game was developed for the PS4 and Xbox One, or is that completely unrelated?
That could be.
No, because again,
Unleashed has it though,
it's
and it was
all
on the
other
360.
Sonic games work on it, and like Crash 4 doesn't have quick resume, and that's natively on the Xbox Series X. Minecraft doesn't, but then again,
That's
Minecraft.
cursed. It's not on Minecraft.
I do not have Mania or Forces on Xbox, but I do believe that Mania supports it. So.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Alright, I think we've got enough details on the whole issues where, like, it's good to know that they are slowly patching the game out because they know there is issues. So that's good on them that they know, and then hopefully we can get some more improvements over the next how many months they decide to keep patching the game up.
Oh, wait, I have one more thing, like one more little nitpick. Sorry, this is quick. I do want to say though, it is kind of a bad first impression when like you open the screen for the first time and the Jade Wisp isn't on the colors thing, and then the beautiful thing of Sonic running with the orchestral playing, you know, and then with the color blaster. Like I understand the CG cutscene because they'd essentially have to redo the whole thing to add the Jade Wisp into that, but like the title screen, like come on, like the Jade Wisp isn't on it.
There might be some issues if they did that, but all right, let's move on. Let's go to the new additions, because as we all know, Ultimate, not only it's just an enhanced remaster port, it also added. All right, don't laugh. It adds new stuff, and firstly, I want to talk about the new Tails save because it completely removes the life system. Did anyone really use it? Because I mean, I'm interested with Eldarin because since you never played, did you?
I honestly, I was one of the people on Twitter that was complaining 24/7 about that thing being announced, and it did not bother me at all. It was just a little annoying when you would die and Tails would bring you back, but it really didn't bother me. If anything, though, I did exploit it twice to get S ranks because when you get brought back, everything gets respawned, so you can just go and get the same red rings again and get the same amount of points again.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got like a lot on one or two of the levels I wasn't a big fan of, just because I didn't want to play them again. The rest of the levels are great though, but yeah, so that was one thing that I was kind of bruh, and I think that was just an oversight in terms of, and that's an easy patch to fix that, I would imagine. I'm not a game designer though, I don't know, but so that's my thought on it.
I'm kind of in a similar boat to that, because when I was collecting red rings and I was on levels that I didn't like, I could collect a red ring full, and when Tails saves me, the red ring would still be collected, which is really useful. Because without it, I would have to restart the whole level again and find out a different way to get that red ring. That was the only instance where I found Tails save actually really useful. What I would have preferred if they included an option to turn it on and turn it off. I don't really care about the original lives being lost, but it gets annoying after a while when you fall into a pit and Tails is always picking you up, and he takes long to let go of you as well. It plays a voice clip and then tells it's holding you there for like 5 seconds. And it's kind of annoying when you want to jump back into the gameplay. But when you're collecting stuff that's out of reach, it's really useful. But that's the only thing I could really find it helping me with.
I also didn't find it as bad as I was expecting, because like if you die from like an enemy or from like spikes or like a gun or something, like it still kills you. Like it's not like Tails saves you, it still kills you, which is what I thought was going to happen, was like Tails was going to save you from that also. But no. So I thought it was implemented very well. I'd give it a thumbs up.
I will say, with the tail save, I didn't even use it once. Maybe because I just know the level design off by heart, so obviously I didn't really die. The only time I mainly used it on accident was when I was just playing around and trying to find, collect the red rings and try to do speedrun strats basically in my spare time. So mainly I used it twice, because I think the whole idea with the tail save was because they claim colors is difficult, which I don't think that's the correct term.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's some tricky tricky sections to it though, but it definitely wasn't hard, especially because I just came straight off of S ranking Unleashed and going to this. I still found some sections kind of tricky, but it was not anywhere near Unleashed or anywhere near SA2 or anything in terms of difficulty, I thought.
Yeah, do you think they should have made it optional? Because I think it's more designed for someone who I guess it was designed for kids or people who never touched a Sonic game before. But do you think they should have kept it optional for those who have played Sonic games?
Yes. There would have been no controversy whatsoever. I'll harp on Super Monkey Ball. A big thing. I'm not into the Monkey Ball games. I'm getting the new one, but I'm not into I don't know too much about them. But what I've been seeing is that there's a big divide in the fan base with a lot of people who like the old style, which has no jumping mechanics, and then there's the newer games that have the jumping mechanics. And what they did in the new game, in the new Mania game, is they disabled it. So you can enable or disable it. It's a toggle. It's a accessible thing where you can change if you want to have the jump in it or not, because the jump is for the new players. So I think they should have just did that, and there would have been literally no controversy over the tail save whatsoever.
Yes, I completely agree.
Okay, quick edit here, guys. We've got the Sonicsta joining in. So how you going, mate?
What's going on, guys? It's Sonicsta. I'm chilling. How are y'all doing?
Good, thanks.
Can I continue what I was talking about with tail save real quick?
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so tail save was whenever it first came out, it wasn't that bad, but the reasoning for that was mostly because it wasn't programmed correctly. In certain parts with tail save, he just won't save you, and that's mostly because you're right next to a checkpoint whenever he won't save you. So it's just what's the point? But when you think about it, why have checkpoints in the game at all if you're going to have tail save, which will save you whenever you fall off a pit, and you'll have 50 of them by the end of the game, depending on your skill level. I don't care a lot about lives in general, because lives are technically an irrelevant medium, if that makes any sense. Because they were made to get coins out of you in arcades, but now with you're paying full price for games now, so there's no point to lives really at that point. But I don't know.
Nah, lives are based.
They are pretty base. They give you challenge, but in a business perspective,
it's one of those things that it should be on or off. You could do Crash 4.
Yeah,
my
Crash
opinion.
4. I was thinking about that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
One thing I will say in response to XPool, they put the checkpoints in because if you get hit by an enemy and you lose your rings and you die, you respawn at a checkpoint.
That is a good point.
I think if it wasn't for that, they would have just taken them out.
Yeah, and that would have been dumb. But
pretty much.
It doesn't matter. Are we gonna go back to certain topics and just have Sonicsta talk about them? Or
Yeah, I was gonna say, so Sonicsta, since you played the Switch version, correct?
Yes, sir.
So how was that? Because obviously the Switch version was known to be playing at 1080p at 30 frames instead of the 60 frames on the other, consoles and PC. Did that change your? How did that make you feel? Like, because obviously the Switch can play 60 frames, but obviously because Ultimate was only at 30 frames, did that affect how you viewed the new port, or tell me your opinions and viewpoints on it?
To be totally honest, like, it's definitely really weird, especially when it was like first announced, like it was gonna be 30 FPS. It threw me off. Like, everything else was 60, and of course, like you said, the Switch games can run at 60 FPS, so it's kind of weird how that kind of happened. But did it overall like affect my experiences? I don't think so. Like, I think the way I played it and how much fun I had, I don't think it was that necessarily that much of a bad thing. Like, when you're actually playing it, like, also the perk with having it on handheld just kind of like, I was gonna get on Switch regardless of what the FPS looked like, because like I love playing stuff handheld on the go and also like on console and TV. So having that kind of perk kind of like, I don't know, I guess it kind of like leveled it out for me. Like, I wasn't that infuriated by it or anything.
Yeah, I guess with me, I don't really mind about frames per second, like when I'm playing games on, my PC. Like obviously, if I can play at 60 frames per second, great. If I can play at 30, I don't think, as long as it's constant, like consistent, I think it doesn't really matter to me. But so what did you think visually? What do you think visually on the Switch? How does it look?
So I don't really have experience playing it on any other console except for like the Wii or anything like that. So I don't really know how it runs on PS4 or Xbox or PC for that matter. I've seen a couple of videos, but I've seen also a bunch of people post about like glitches and lags. I heard some of them are fake, some of them aren't. And I'm not going to say they don't exist, because they definitely do. I mean, if you got this many people talking about it, then yeah, there's no way. But I haven't run into any of that as far as that goes. But visually, I think it looks pretty cool. Like, my brother said the same thing. Like, when we like first started playing it, it was just like, wow, like, it's a little bright, but it looks pretty cool.
I want to verify real quick. You were talking about how some of the bugs are faked. I did my research, and like also I can vouch, because the person that like uploaded the black hole thing with like it glitching out with all the textures, that's one of my friends, and everybody in that voice chat can vouch that that was real, 100% real.
That one was real, alright.
The one that was really fake was the T-posing bug, and that's really it. A lot of the other ones were real.
That was recorded in an emulator, if I remember.
Yes. Yeah, and also like people were saying that like that's the main reason that they realized it was fake. But the thing is, that was the only one that was not on that was not from the Nintendo Switch share. That was from the web app. So that should have been like an immediate this is fake thing. But
at least they as we're recording, they've now patched the whole the seizure glitch or bug on the Switch, which I'm actually surprised they got it out that quickly, because I was expecting it maybe a little bit longer, but I'm glad that's got out of the way. So now, if you're gonna get it, you can now technically get on the Switch now without putting your health at risk. But yeah, just quickly back to the Switch for Sonicsta. Do you think it looks better to get it on Switch than just to play the OG, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I think really the whole reason why I would have bought it on Switch rather than like getting it for Wii or anything like that is it's new. Like, if you have a Wii or a Switch rather, and you're like maybe like 15 years old, it's gonna be a lot harder getting a Wii than it is a Switch. And unless you want to get like a used one from somewhere. But with that being said, like, you can just get the newer version of Sonic Colors for Switch, and you'll be fine with it on Switch. Like, of course, I think it runs a bit better in terms of like glitchiness and lagginess or whatever on the Wii. But I mean, if you really just want to play Sonic Colors and like Switch is more convenient, then go for it. But I mean, going out of your way to get the Wii version if you already don't have a Wii is just kind of, I don't know, weird.
Yeah, that's like, okay, I want to bring this up real quick, because like you brought up a very good point. Sonic Colors Ultimate is the Minecraft Bedrock to Sonic Colors on the Wii.
Oh,
I
no.
mean, it's kind of
Where are you
true
going with this?
because like the Java edition of Minecraft is considered the superior one. It has less bugs. It's more like consistent with Redstone and stuff. It's like a lot of the combat and everything is better. But then Bedrock is more accessible. It's easier to do multiplayer and it's crossplay and all that. But there are more bugs. It's awful on Switch. I mean, awful.
Oh yeah, I know that. That I know.
Yeah. And like there are a lot of other things that add on top of that, where it makes me realize that yeah, Sonic Colors Ultimate is the Minecraft Bedrock to the original Sonic Colors of Minecraft Java. It's a silly analogy, I know, but it's really true.
You know, you're 100% right, but I do want to emphasize, I don't think Sonic Colors Ultimate on Switch is bad. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think that if you want to like go on the perfect Sonic Colors experience, then I don't know if Switch is the best one. Like, of course, Colors runs better, and Ultimate has more stuff, but it's kind of like you have to pick your poison, I guess.
All right, interesting. We'll quickly just go back to your opinion on the tail safe because we already discussed it. What's your opinions on the tail safe? Like, did you really use it? Do you think it should have been optional? What's your whole viewpoint on the whole tail safe mechanic?
Okay, in all honesty, I didn't run into it a whole lot, except for when I was trying to go back and get like tokens and stuff like that. But if you know what you're doing in Sonic Colors and you don't die that much, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I know when I was younger and played Sonic Colors, especially those platforming sections where it's like 2D, you have to jump on those little squares or whatever, that's annoying. But like, most of the time you don't really run into using it, at least me personally. But, I mean, it's cool to see Tails doing something again. I guess that's cool. But
I could absolutely vouch for what you just said earlier. As someone who like played I think I have around 120 hours in Sonic Colors on the Wii alone. It's
exactly.
Crazy. But
exactly.
That game is like all the platforming portions were annoying as a young, naive child. Like Planet Wisp Factory was the bane of my existence for a good 2 weeks. It was, yeah. Yeah, and then like I went back to it. Now it takes me like 30 seconds to beat, so that's kind of funny.
Oh dang.
No, I was playing Eggshell today, and I beat Tropical Resort Act 6 in like 15 seconds. And like for me when I was younger, it would take like 2 minutes. So I feel like I have very much evolved in that state.
So we got the Jade Ghost Wisp, which came from Team Sonic Racing. Now, I think it's a cool addition, and especially because they actually tweaked the level design just specifically for the Jade Ghost. Mainly just get part tokens, tail safe icons, and the red rings basically. What is everyone's opinion on the Jade Ghost? Do you think it was a good addition? They probably could have done a bit more. What do you think?
Personally, I actually like it. The theme is a banger. It slaps.
The theme. I want to note about the theme. Average Burger Boy called it the song became a meme, and he was the first one to say that it would become a meme. So I just want to let that out there.
But anyway, that aside, well, if you played Sonic Colors before, you can tell that it's basically a reskin of the Hover Wisp. It controls almost exactly like it, but the addition of being able to like homing attack into certain spots, including enemies, I think that was really neat. And that's how they allowed you to actually clip through walls, because you can't normally pass through them unless you're like homing attacking into something on the other side. But I think it was just really nice to explore areas that you couldn't before and just collect like red rings, medals, that kind of stuff.
I thought it was great. Like, it's the kind of stuff you'd want to see in a remaster to justify a purchase like that with new content, you know what I mean? So like I really liked it. I'm gonna play contrarian here though. I was not a big fan of the music for it. I didn't like really any of the Wisp music though, to be honest, except like one of them. But
did any of you guys also have like problems with like the music cutting out when it came to like the Wisp?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. We were talking about the audio bugs earlier. But yeah, that is literally on every platform, and 6 out of 10 times, that's an estimate, but 6 out of 10 times it won't play the music in Wisp.
Yeah, no, I had that.
So.
I thought it was a
if
Switch
you
version
pause
thing
and
for a minute, but
unpause,
that's cool.
Yeah, if you
pause and
that'll
unpause,
fix
the
it.
music comes back in.
What?
It's so
I didn't know
stupid.
that. Pro tip.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I just tried it one time randomly, and I was like, wait, why is the music back? Yeah,
No, for the Jade Ghost.
that's how I found out.
The Jade Ghost, for me, whenever I first played Colors Ultimate and I tried the Jade Ghost, I hated it. I hated it so much.
Is it because it was slow?
It was on an equivalent level to Sonic Forces for me. It was bad. But as I played it more and more, I kind of warmed up to it kind of. It's still really slow and annoying most of the time. But in certain areas, I like how they change the red rings to make it more unique in itself. And they have a little homing attack thing like we were bringing up earlier, Temzy. Yeah. But again, the theme, Burger Boy called it, it's a meme now.
See, I thought that about the Hover Wisp. I like the Jade Wisp. I didn't like the Hover Wisp. I know that's in the base game, but I thought the Hover Wisp was too slow personally.
I see that. I get that.
Yeah, I
don't
can see.
know,
Yeah,
it might be
sometimes it can
nostalgia
be.
bias.
It's funny. I actually just kind of avoid the Wisp.
I will say with the Jade Ghost Wisp, I did have a few complaints where sometimes when you use the homing attack on it, it wouldn't register you homing attack
Yeah,
especially when
that
you
happens
try
to
to
me
get-
sometimes as well.
and a few times in new level design, it wasn't very clear on where you were supposed to go at first, but once you know the level, you kind of got used to it. But that was the only issues I have. But overall, I think the Jade Ghost Wisp is a great addition, and hopefully they can keep doing this, trying to improve if they keep going with the whole using Wisp in games, which I personally don't want to, but you know what happens.
Personally, I think they should have did something like adding a couple of new levels, like those extra levels they had in Sonic Forces, but just dedicated to that Wisp. That could have been pretty cool to do, because if you think about it,
that might be interesting actually.
yeah.
Well, actually,
Sounds interesting.
actually, that's a pretty bad idea, because I saw from Ender Electrics, he showed me a portion of Sweet Mountain where it was added specifically for the Jade Ghost, and it's so bland and blocky platforming, to where there aren't even proper walls or anything, and it's just simple jumping in the air. It looks awful. I'm gonna have to show you footage later on, but it's really bad.
That's
so
a
I don't know if that would have
That's a
been
shame.
a
But
good idea.
either way, with that being said, they could have still just tried to refine some of its movements, made a level centered around it, and just made it more, I guess, fun. I don't really know how to further explain that.
Yeah,
But
I still get that.
if you had a whole level dedicated to it, I'm sure you try to find a way to make sure it's actually intuitive. But
Yeah, if it was tailored around it, it definitely would have been more. It would have flowed better, because at the end of the day, they're just taking sections of the level that were considered out of bounds and then
Exactly.
repurposing them. And it's not you can't blame them, it's you gotta work with what you got there. But now if they had a whole couple of levels, or heck, even if you had to add one act per stage that was kind of tailored more towards it, I think it would have been pretty
Exactly,
neat.
'cause-
But I liked
No,
how
guys.
it did. But I agree with you though.
No, guys, on the topic of yeah, go ahead, Sonicsta, actually.
I was gonna say, the other Wisp, the Jade Wisp had a lot of promotional material. The whole Rise of the Wisp thing was kind of centered around its abilities a bit. You had it talking to Sonic the entire time. So I was thinking, if they had some sort of, it's not even in the final boss. There's all the Wisp spinning around him.
Oh,
he's not
true.
even
Yeah,
there.
true.
So it's if you had a
Yeah.
little bit extra
And he's not even on the
appreciation
title.
towards him, you get something out of it.
What I wanted to say on what Eldarin said about, or was it Sonicsta said about the levels? In the original Sonic Colors, there were a couple of acts that were actually supposed to be one act, but were split for development time. And a rumor
right.
going around.
Well, no, that's
was-
no. That's
But
not.
wait,
the
let
reason.
him finish. Let
The
him finish.
reason
Let
that
him
they were
finish.
split apart.
Wait, let me finish, man.
because-
Let Temzy
Wait,
finish.
let me
Temzy
finish.
I'm
I'm
so
not talking
sorry.
about why they
Go
were
ahead.
split apart in the Wii. I heard a rumor going around that they were gonna combine it in Colors Ultimate which obviously was false. But when I found out, I was really disappointed because could the Wii hardware even handle like the whole level?
I don't think so. That's why
That one's... I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, they did it just to, make the game longer, like give you more gameplay time. But I'm not sure about the Wii not being able to handle it. I don't know about that one.
Because if that was the reason, they could have... Okay, XPool, we'll let you talk. Let me finish. If that was the reason...
No, you go first. I'm sorry. I feel really bad about cutting you off earlier. You go
It's
ahead
cool,
and
it's cool, bro. It's cool. The reason... If that was the reason, PCs... Xbox One X, fucking PlayStation 5, they should be able to handle them like perfectly. If that was the reason why. What I would have wanted from this remaster was to restore the original act structure and maybe like make those extra levels, like Sonicsta said, based around the Jade Wisp, a couple of wisps, like mix it up a bit. If they had something like, we had the main acts and then we had a few missions like they did on the DS with the Sonic's friends, and that's where you could like do repeated parts of the levels, but with like, collect this amount of rings in so time, or defeat this amount of enemies in so time. That would have been perfect for the extra acts. That's just something I would have loved to see them do. Yeah, you can finally go ahead, XPool.
Okay. I wanted to bring up that I'm very much into the Sonic Colors lore. You could call me a Sonic Colors lore master, but the reasoning behind the levels being split apart is because, like what Saiyan said, how they wanted to make the game longer by just a little bit because it just felt a little bit too short. But the part about it not being able to run on the Wii is completely false because there is an exploit in the game where you can play almost the entirety of Tropical Resort Act 2 in Act 1 just by like exploiting the laser wisp with it. So the whole part about it not being able to run on the Wii is false.
Alright, good to know.
Well, couldn't it have just been it wasn't stable enough like for final release, and that's why they cut it though? Because like, yeah, I could run it, but like that doesn't mean it could have been stable enough. Like, I'm not trying to like discredit you. I'm just saying like in terms of a possibility, you know.
I mean, technically it is possible because I know if you guys know Sonic Huger, he's like one of the modders. He's actually working on combining, certain acts together into one, which is it's doable. I mean, it's not
right now.
It's not perfect. Obviously, it's still a work in progress, but it is possible to do that. But going to quickly go to the next topic. The perfect homing attack or the sweet shot. Great addition. I love it.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it should be in every single Sonic game moving forward.
Yes.
Because it not only
also agree.
like especially every boost game, like at least every boost game, because like it really ups the skill ceiling. Like I'll be honest, like I probably would have gotten a little bored in some areas of colors if it wasn't for that, just because I don't like having to be constrained with when I have to use the boost, you know what I mean? And so like having that extra, okay, well if I do good here and I'm like focused and I can lock on with the homing attack, which was surprisingly a little bit trickier than I was originally expecting in terms of timing. I think it was excellent. I think it really raised the skill ceiling for the game. And yeah, I love to see it in every single game, at least every single boost game moving forward. I absolutely would love it.
You know what, guys? I have a little theory actually.
Yeah.
This is a really rough theory, but I have a theory. You know how in the adventure games, to perform a homing attack, you'd have to like get really precise. You can't just spam A, otherwise you'll miss your target.
Yeah.
But in the modern games, you can spam A and get your target. Maybe the perfect homing attack, or the sweet spot, or whatever you call it, is like a combination of the two. So for those who just want to spam homing attack, they can quickly get through it. But for those who are more into the adventure games and really like getting that perfect homing attack, the sweet spot, as the name is called, maybe that was playing
it gives you
for
something
them.
else like to kind of master, so it's cool.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Just a little theory I have, yeah.
Perfect homing attack's pretty cool. As someone who played Sonic Colors a long time ago, and it's now like as I replay it, like one of my favorite games of all time. One of the main things that I really love about it is how like the boost is not like given to you every 0.5 seconds. So like you just get it in spades. So like, okay, you can get it here, and then maybe you can use it there or there or there, and like they give it to you at super smart points. And like I feel like the perfect homing attack does not ruin that at all. I think the perfect homing attack is fantastic, and like they give and like it adds onto it kind of, where you can get more options on how you want to get boosts. And like
I agree with that completely.
Not a lot, but like just the perfect amount, where it's just like not too little.
Yeah, you could choose whether to get more boost, or you could just homing attack normally and not get the boost. That works.
Yeah,
that works
it's just
completely.
like, do you care?
Do you care enough to get this extra boost?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is great satisfaction when you always get like in that combo of getting, you know, the perfect homing attack sweet shots, even though the sound effect can be a little bit too loud. But
nice.
hopefully,
The sound effect is sexy though. I will say that's a satisfying sound.
It's just the audio mixing in the game that's really jarring,
yeah.
and the fact that they put the spring sound on every single object in the game.
So annoying.
The dash pad.
There were a lot of complaints about that.
Everything, just
I can't
everything.
wait for the I can't wait for the jump sound effect to be replaced with the spring.
Yo, don't speak that into existence.
Yeah, that's gonna be in Rangers.
Don't do that for me.
Don't worry, bro. It's coming
Rangers, let's go.
fingers
Yeah, I better
crossed
not,
that
because it'll
perfect
probably
homing attack
happen.
Stays. Fingers crossed that the perfect homing attack
From what I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
about
yeah,
Rangers,
yeah.
I'm not
Fingers
sure
crossed.
it's
Definitely
I hope
stays
so.
on
Rangers,
Rangers, 'cause
but
that'll be
there's gonna have boost sections or something.
I really
know
hope
theory-
so,
Like
but-
if Rangers isn't gonna be boost though, are they gonna like give you rings or something like that? Whatever like its currency kind of is, if you do a perfect homing attack.
Maybe the perfect homing attack will be used if you get it perfect. You get additional score, like it just adds to your overall score.
Yes.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. That's
Yes,
true.
yeah.
That could
I heard about that. Yeah.
It'll just make the ranking easier, but at least it gives you reward for getting that perfect homing attack in.
I would absolutely love that. I just hope the mechanic in some capacity stays, because that really was something that I really enjoyed.
I have another theory actually. You know the perfect homing attack, and you know the way they redesigned like the dash rings. You know the ones in the air. They have the bumpers that look more. They look more like the dash rings from Sonic Adventure. I have a theory that they now look like that,
Or even
and
if we just see our
the
first
perfect
trailer.
homing attack is now there because it's there in Rangers, and Sega wants it to be a bit more consistent through the games.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see if that's correct when Rangers comes out.
One thing I really do want though, and this is I'm not gonna veer this into a whole different area, but I just want to say that if the next game is a boost game, I really do hope that we can use the light speed dash whenever we want to, because man, that is annoying having it on like a little, you can do it a little bit here, or it's you have to press Y it's so annoying to me. So I like it unleashed when you can just press it whenever you want to, and it's just okay, sorry.
Adding on to this. Okay, in colors, the boost being locked behind a white wisp, it makes sense with the level design. It works perfectly like XPool described earlier. The way they had it in Forces though, I felt it was kind of jarring, because Forces is not like colors. They should have put it back on the rings, and I hope the next Sonic game you can boost by collecting rings, because that's how it was in the previous entries.
Yeah, I wanna add on to that for 5 seconds, and then we can move on to the next topic. I'm sorry we're staying on this for too long, but my motto has been what's in Forces stays in Forces, and what they did there was instead of the white wisp only slightly increasing your gauge, it fully maximized it, which does not work, because now every time whenever you get a white wisp, it's just maximized, and then whenever you hit enemies, it always gives you boosts. So it's pretty much just generations 2, because you always have boosts, and then every 5 seconds they give you another wisp capsule. So that's just what's the point of having them? Like what Temzy said, bring back the rings then if you're gonna do that.
Whoa. XPool, are you telling me you don't like Generations?
No, I love Generations. I think it's great. I'm just saying that like at that point, just bring back the rings like from Generations, like that gimmick.
Yeah.
I think anything from Forces is going to be scrapped for the next game. I think like
Please.
I hope so.
I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about
Wait.
that.
Except the customization. That needs to carry on. Please. Soap's shoes. Please, Sega, if you're watching this.
Shoot, y'all dissing my man Infinite like it's
Infinite.
nothing.
I'm not sure if we will see him again.
Speaking of customization. So
Oh, nice.
So I want to say, it's good to see that at least Sega is acknowledging customization since Forces, because customization in Forces, that was a great idea. And then they used it again for Team Sonic Racing. I mean, you know, for your cars and stuff. And then now we got it in colors. Great idea. The problem is, and I think everyone agrees, it's very lacking.
Yeah, very limited.
Yeah, I
Can
It's
I
very
start on this
limited.
one?
a lot of
The customization in this was the most disappointing thing I have seen since like I don't even know what. Like, man, all I wanted was soap shoes. That's all I wanted, and nothing.
Thank you.
Like at
Thank
the game, like and forgive me, I'm gonna go on a quick rant here, but the game that was designed to celebrate the 30th anniversary, because this is the anniversary game for this year, because Rangers isn't. Yuzuka said that himself. Can't even celebrate its own franchise's anniversary. No soap shoes. Where's Chip's ring? Like I literally can list 5 here off the top of my head. The glove from Black Knight, Chip's ring, soap shoes, the SA1 crystal bracelet, the Secret Rings fire thingy. The like, man, like I that was such
what do you mean,
a
Eldarin?
missed
That's already in
potential.
the game. You have the fire aura.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Metal Sonic has 100% playable skin, which is all I wanted, and would have been such a
meant to be in the
cool
game.
callback. Yeah, it was going to be in it, but it got cut. But it would have been such a cool callback to SA1 also for the 100%
that'd be
completion
great.
for that game. Man, there's just so many. Sorry, I'm not you guys get what I'm saying. Like it's just that was
Absolutely.
such a like I went in there and I was like that was like the biggest thing I was excited for, and like it really really stunk. Like I thought, like I kept it all the same. Yeah. I went with the OG. Oh yeah, the movie Sonic was
Sonic,
sick.
yeah.
I do, yeah.
But my whole thing was like the whole history of Sonic the Hedgehog. Like you said, you've got so many options. Like, not to be that guy or anything, but like Forces did better with customization than I think Sonic Colors did. Because I'm gonna be real here. At least Forces had the boom scarf.
Yeah.
Even
did?
the
Had the
Sonic
boom
t-shirt.
scarf.
Sonic
Had
with
the
a
boom
A.
shoes.
Sonic.
Like, if you just gave
I
Sonic
didn't know that.
at least you calling back to something.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, Forces had the boom scarf, the boom shoes, the soap shoes, and soap shoes in different variants. Like,
Well, good on Forces then. All right.
when it came with customizations, Forces wasn't great, but it had some stuff.
Yeah.
And I think Colors could have just definitely benefited from just, this sounds crazy now, but if it took notes from Forces. Like, that's crazy.
Do not ever speak
It's
those
like
words.
celebrate-
that word
Look, I'm
again.
just
Celebrate the
talking about
franchise you're a part
customization
of.
here.
You know.
If Colors had just taken a few notes from Forces in terms of customization, we could have some.
Someone's
better
gonna
stuff.
take this out of context.
Oh, I know they are. It's all good.
Oh no.
I think the problem with customization and colors was basically it was just a basically reskin, like a retexture, recolored. I don't mind them going that pathway, but they could have added more variants instead of just being what you got the polka dots, flame aura, ice aura. Yeah, they could have really expanded on ideas, and it kind of gives the game more replayability, because then you got to collect part tokens and then use that to purchase your new cosmetics and stuff. But yeah, it would be really great if there were, like, you know, like we said, the soap shoes and that, like.
When Eldarin was talking about Mel Sonic, it made me think, I want to talk about Rival Rush. Rifle
Let's
Rush.
get to that later. We still need
God.
to talk about customization.
Oh, no.
Sam needs to finish.
I mean, that was the next topic, but alright, Temzy, just steal my thunder. But alright, go on.
No,
I
not
go
yet.
on
I
or-
still need to talk about customization.
Okay, XPool, talk about customization, and then I'll get on my rant about Rifle Rush.
All right. Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
So, for me, customization is fine. A lot of it, like especially with the gloves and the shoes, they feel like texture swaps, and that's really all they are.
They basically are, yeah.
They just like feel, again, like what Eldarin said, they feel a bit lackluster. But then like the auras are also pretty cool. Like the boosts are pretty cool. But like what Stel was saying earlier, that I despise this even being considered to come out of my mouth. But they should have taken notes from Forces. I need to wash my mouth after this. But,
Oh, no.
They should have taken notes
You
from
should be
Wash it
more
with soap,
specific.
bro.
That way people don't take it out of context. You gotta say.
Yeah.
You better get that mouthwash.
They gotta take notes from Forces with like the customization, because like
There
you
you
get
go.
custom shoes and everything. Like what Eldarin was saying, this is like the 30th anniversary game. Where's my soap shoes? Where's my gauntlet from Black Knight? Where's
Yeah.
my Santiago
Yeah.
shoes?
Santiago.
Where you know what they should have done for like the shoes? They should have
Eh.
made it to where Sonic wears a copy of Sonic Colors on the Wii. That
Dude,
could have
a
been just
Sonic
like a glove.
t-shirt.
Oh, yeah,
Instead
yeah.
of wearing
That.
gloves, he just wears
Yeah,
copies
like-
of Sonic Colors on the
it-
Wii.
Yeah. And one more thing that like I wanted, and this may be asking for a little. Actually, no, I don't really think it is. But like, it would have been cool, like along with Metal Sonic, as like say like, oh, collect, I don't know, like 500 park tokens, and you can unlock a Shadow skin, you know, or or like as someone that is very similar to Sonic, but like it wouldn't change them. Like I wouldn't put Tails in that, but like I'd probably put like Metal and like Shadow as like two like end
I'll
game
get to that in a
unlockables that you
second.
could do. You know what I mean? Like I felt like that would have been sick. Yeah, like, but yeah, that was it.
Alright, Rival Rush.
All
mode.
right.
He starts
Temzy.
venting.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm going to. Where do I start? Rival Rush. A great idea in theory. It had a poor execution. And I am talking from a game design point. Especially, I'm studying game design in university, and I spotted a bunch of stuff. Where do I even begin? Okay, Rival Rush mode. Instead of having like, okay, you know in Gameland where there's two Sonics and you can move one Sonic, and there's a mode where you can control one Sonic and the other Sonic gets auto-controlled. I'm surprised they didn't take that for Rival Rush. For Rival Rush, they did the most simple, laziest thing they could do. They animated Metal Sonic moving through the level. They didn't have him actually interacting with objects. So you can see, sometimes he's just standing up and then he just starts flowing up. He just starts floating up. He's not even standing on a platform, and it really bugged me because they could have taken the code for the Sonic Simulator. They could have like just adapted that, have him interact with the environments, because at some point, like Asteroid Coaster, at some point there's a point where you have to wait for these platforms to pop out, and if you go too quickly they could kill you. Sometimes he just clips through those, sometimes he jumps on thin air. It's so irritating. I know some people might not notice this because they're not really into game development, but as a programmer, you just notice these things straight away, and it just really irritates me that they didn't do something like that. Secondly, Metal Sonic uses the animations for Super Sonic, which is kind of a clever thing, but it's disappointing that they didn't animate. They didn't give him custom animations. They just grabbed the Super Sonic animations. And if they were able to do that, why did they have to cut Metal Sonic as a skin? Because I heard he was planned to be playable.
Well,
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
I will.
yeah, he was.
I will say, with the whole using supersonic animations, I think it's just a cheaper and quicker way just to get development done. Like I can see why they did it, but if the game had more time baking in the oven, I guess if they even delayed it, or if they had like a better development cycle, I think they probably would have given them, more unique animations. But since I don't want to say they're on crunch.
That's
'cause
what I'm
we don't
gonna
know if
name
they
my
were, but
review
it's
video.
just a quicker and
Sonic
easy.
Colors Ultimate needs more time in the oven.
No, what you should name it is Sonic Colors 2077.
Nah, that's a bit on the nose. That's a bit on the nose.
I also, one thing about Rival Rush, like Metal is like my boy. Like he's my favorite villain in the series. So like when I heard that like they're putting him in there, I was like, oh yes, you take my money now. And that was horrible. Like it was literally horrible. Like I don't even know how much more you could like make that look like crap. I remember I was standing there like on like Temzy, like you were saying, like I was standing there on one of the levels, and this dude just phases. Like this dude just goes into Gmod, goes into no clip, and then just phases through the whole like stage. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, are you kidding me? And he looks like crap. Like also like he looks like crap. And even in the little like like warm up thing, and it was just very lackluster. I hated. Well, not hated. I did not like the music at all.
I actually liked it.
It took
I thought
away.
it was a banger.
Yeah, I love
the song.
I loved all of the remixes. I loved all of the remixes, and I did not like. That was the only song on the whole album that I didn't like. I loved Tropical Resort one. I was like, I would rather listen to those. And then instead of the
I didn't
the
know
Rival
to that
Rush thing, it was
quickly.
just annoying to me.
I didn't know to
And,
that
like,
quickly. Sorry
I
for
will say-
interrupting. But I'm surprised they didn't use like a remix of the Versus Mel
No,
Sonic
you're good.
from Sonic CD that they usually do.
That's a good
I've-
thing.
Yo, who said that's a good
I mean,
thing?
they
Good
used
thing they
the
didn't
wait.
do that.
They used the American version in Sonic Forces, and that actually sounded good. I don't know if other people liked it. I don't know.
Modders, you know what to do with
No,
that, modders?
no!
But anyway, continue. Eldarin, sorry for interrupting.
Just one quick thing on no, you're good. Just one quick thing was just that the one benefit I will say was I was a little surprised with
I
the
love
difficulty
Yeah.
of
Yes,
I loved it.
yes.
Rival Rush. That was the one thing I was expecting that to be Baby's first stage.
Yeah, it was a pleasant
and it actually
surprise,
wasn't too bad in terms of like difficulty. Yeah. But like I will say I was like, oh, like at first I was like, oh sweet, like I unlocked the Metal Sonic stage, and then by the next world I
Yeah.
was just like, oh, I gotta play that.
Pretty
No.
much.
Like so yeah.
I think it's good that they made it not so easy and it gives you a bit of a challenge, which I hope if they do revisit it like some races in some form, they stick with this
Korean
difficulty.
first Rival Rush.
It's just because that's what we want, because it encourages you to get better basically and learn the level design much better.
Yeah.
In
Also it was kind of weird. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, because basically the whole Rival Rush thing, it kind of just takes the idea from what Generations did with their races, which I'm glad they did, because with just going back with Generations tending off a bit, they had great idea mini games, and which is something I want them to use in future games. So it's good that I guess they took some inspiration from it. So yeah, but go on, what you were gonna say?
I liked like some of them. I much preferred the Werehog, personally.
I mean, some of them could drag on and get annoying, but like most of them, and I like how they got like remixes of like Sonic. Is it Sonic Battle? They got a remix of like songs from that, and it was just a nice reference.
Yeah, there was some cool. There was some cool remixes and some callbacks. I do agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing with
No, go ahead. I forgot what I was going to originally say.
I was going to say with Rival Rush mode, I was hoping there'll be more than just 6.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
a couple per area, because I was surprised, because when they were like promoting it, from what they shown, it was obviously they were doing like the longer levels, which I was surprised when for Korean part they used the shorter version, like used Act 2, but then that was really challenging because you have to be basically
The Korean
Perfect.
Park one was terrifying.
yeah. Exactly.
And that's why I
I died
loved
so
it.
many times. But looking back, it was,
Also,
it was
I do
a good
wanna say
experience.
Dude, I
that-
thought I would never do it. I thought I'd never beat him.
I wanna...
Yeah.
With Metal, if you use the wisps, it like penalized you on some of them. Like in Planet Wisp, I remember if you use spikes, he literally just no clips past you. Like he goes like 3 times faster than what the wisps do. So like it was like there's no point in even using the wisps until you get to the section.
That reminds me. You know in that Rise of the Wisps animation, we saw Metal Sonic using the Wisps powers, and I assumed in the game we would also see Metal Sonic utilizing the Wisps, but unfortunately that was not to be.
Dude, I'm glad he didn't. I never beat it.
And my one final thing, although it's a bit of a nitpick, in the Rival Rush they should have made like the checkpoints invisible, because when I first saw it I thought, oh, if you fall into a pit you'll be able to respawn from that specific section, but no, it just insta kills you. So I'm thinking maybe when they disabled checkpoints they should make them like invisible.
Yeah, because that kind of it just kind of defeats the purpose of having checkpoints in Rival Rush, because even if you get hit with no rings, it's basically you lost. So it kind of defeats. But I guess that's probably just something they just didn't think ahead to do. I mean, it's not that much of a big deal, but it would have been a nice, added nice touch to detail if they did that.
Yeah. About dying in Rival Rush, I'm not sure if this happened on like any other version, but I know with Switch, immediately after you died, sometimes, and this probably got patched, but I received like the error message.
That happens on the PS5 sometimes.
Every time I tried to like retry if I died. Okay, and that was ridiculous, because I remember being infuriated after losing to Metal Sonic, and then trying to get back in, and then I have to like load up the whole game again. So, but I think it got patched. Not totally sure.
But for me, Robert Russian's a pretty okay mode. I'm surprised none of you talked about the menus in Rival Rush. Robert Russian, I'm sorry. Because literally
remember that
like,
meme I made?
Temzy literally made the perfect thing. It's just like you just press triangle, not even a transition. It just goes. There are hot singles in your area. Do you accept?
I will.
It literally just looks like that.
I will butt in. Was that only in the Switch version? Because that never popped up on PC. Like do you want to race Metal Sonic? I swear that's only a Switch thing, because that never happened on PC.
It happened like it just like immediately does like the ad pop in from mobile games. It's like Rival Rush.
No, for me it said congratulations, you've unlocked
Metal Sonic.
You've collected enough red rings. To play Rival Rush.
And then once you go to the stage,
now
you
that
press.
Happens to me every time I try to play it. It'll just show up.
Yeah, it doesn't. That pop-up never came up. Metal Sonic wants to race. That never came up.
Yeah, so that might be a Switch only for some weird reason.
Is it like the thing whenever you get the rings and Metal Sonic's
weird.
like, oh hey?
That's strange.
Because every time I try to erase them, it says like Metal Sonic is like ready to race.
I don't know what you're talking about, because once you get all the 15 rings, Metal Sonic just goes, well hey buddy, I want to race. Go to Act 3 to get some help. And then just like you go to it, and then it just goes Rival Rush. Do you accept?
We never got the accept one. We never got that.
I remember seeing that for the first time. I didn't want to see Rival Rush until I actually played the game, because I wanted to see how bad it was, because I thought it was gonna suck at the time. But I saw it. Like I watched Twit's video, and I saw the Rival Rush Do You Accept, and I was on the floor laughing like for a good minute. It was an experience and a half. And there was.
He had the Switch version, didn't he?
I had
PS4.
Yeah, I had
PS5.
Yes.
Oh, he had PS5. All right.
And for Rival Rush as a whole, it's challenging, but that's the only compliment I can give it. But besides the music gave me like Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic game vibes, and I like that game kind of, so that's kind of cool to me. Like you guys were saying, like Metal Sonic just pulls a Gmod it's like it's like you know how you just look in your friend's house in Minecraft in creative mode, you just fly around it because you think it's funny. Yeah, that is Rival Rush. Metal Sonic just goes in creative mode and just like flies around. And sometimes the icon that like shows that you're moving does not actually move. Yeah, and fun fact, there is actually a song that is not used in the game, but is still in like the little music player. in the in game.
Yeah, I know what you
It
mean.
is
I know what you
nowhere
mean.
in the
Yeah,
game.
I know that.
Nowhere. But it's for some reason they never. Where would they would have used? I'm thinking about it. Like, where would they have possibly used that? Where would it go?
It might have been maybe they
What's
would
the song
have.
about?
called
What's it
Rival
called?
It's just called Rival Rush. Because you got the weird music, the loose music, the actual
Race. Yeah,
you know
I
music
remember
when you
just
race
that
metal
one.
Sonic. And then there's the one. It's just a Rival Rush. So I don't know if maybe there was a plan to be like a sub menu for Rival Rush.
Oh,
that just got
imagine
cut,
like
and
they
just-
had like a little like an entire world map for Rival Rush, and it was just like kind of like World 9 in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Dude, that would have been amazing. I would have loved that.
Oh, that would be beautiful. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's kind of all I can say. Everybody else is.
I also
really,
had one
like,
other
said
nitpick, 'cause
all I
you-
can say. So, is there anything else that we have to talk about? Okay.
I will
go
say
ahead.
one thing quickly. When you guys were complaining about the bloom, I thought you were overreacting. But someone recently launched like a debug menu,
Really?
and I actually got to like strip away the bloom and turn up the saturation, and it just looked so much better. Like people were
Didn't you post
people
that
were
on
saying
Twitter?
like
'Cause
Sonic Colors Ultimate. Yeah, I did. People were saying Sonic
Yeah, it
Colors
looked really
Ultimate
good.
didn't have like light fields or something, but when you strip away like a layer of bloom, suddenly there's lighting, there's reflective lighting of, especially like in Asteroid Coaster, these blue containers, they reflect onto the metal and it just looks so pretty.
Yeah.
Let me try and find it.
Anyway, while he's looking for that, is
why
there
do they
anything
do
else
that?
we need
Like-
to talk about, Sam?
Yeah, we got one more topic, the remixes.
Oh, boy.
Now with Ultimate, it came with a whole new remix as well as the original tracks in the game. Now I know it's kind of been discussed where some people like the remixes, some really don't. So it's a mixed bag. I enjoyed majority of the remixes, apart from a few where I don't really like. But there are some I prefer over the original, but then vice versa. What is everyone's opinion on the remixes? Do you think it's a good mixed bag, or is it should they just use the original and not worry about making a remix?
I thought they were all great, and but I thought they were all great except the Rival Rush one. But I will say a lot of them did not fit the stage. Like, and I'll even go with the first Reach for the Stars. Like the CGI intro was kind of cursed having the new song on it, and it wasn't just because it's like change. It just didn't fit with the extra piano motifs and stuff, in my opinion. And then like Planet Wisp, I absolutely love the new Act 1. But like it just did not feel the same. Like
Yeah,
it just did
fit.
not give off the same vibe. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not that
with
like
the
it didn't feel the
piano
same as
just-
in like
And the soft
Yeah.
strings that the original had. Like there was
yeah,
was
not
just a
that like it
certain
didn't feel the
aura.
same as in like old good, new bad. It's just the atmosphere that the stage set wasn't there because the music wasn't there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, in the original, it felt like you were exploring a brand new area, almost untouched. As you progressed further through the stage, that's when you're entering like Eggman's machinery, and it was just nice with the music. You could really feel the vibes, the atmosphere, and that's one thing the remixes kind of missed. With Tropical Resort as well, they added like a jazzy piano, and I'm just like, why? In music,
I like that,
musical
yeah.
terms, it was alright, but in the terms of the stage, it didn't really fit the theme. Because this isn't some nightclub, this isn't some bar. It's a tropical resort.
tropical resort, baby.
You're not supposed to have that kind of piano.
My thing with the remixes is like, I don't think any of them were bad, like at all. I just think that some of them were equal to the original, or some of them were just worse, but it's not by an astronomical a lot.
Yeah.
They're fine. Like, that's just my thoughts.
I also
Yeah, I
really
agree.
like the the one that like I hated at first, but like really grew on me was the Sweet Mountain Act 1. At first I was like, oh, this is like butchered, but like now I actually like I will listen to it on my own time. Like I really like it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of standard for like when new remixes. It's either you're gonna hate it at first, but then as soon as you play it multiple times, you will enjoy it more, which I think has happened here. Because yeah, I wasn't a fan of Sweet Mountain Act 1 and like the other acts for Sweet Mountain, but as soon as I started replaying them, I actually prefer them over the original. But do you think they should have been optional, like given the option to change it between the OG
Yes.
and the remix? Because
Yes.
I know some games
It's a
like Spyro Rena Trilogy and
Generations does.
CTR, you could toggle if you want the OG music or the the updated remaster. But yeah, do you think Colors Ultimate
I'll
should
bring
have
up
had
my
that?
point.
It should
I'll bring up my
an
point
option.
from. I'll bring up my point from before. It's a 2021 remaster. There should toggles. There should be a toggle for everything. I'm talking brightness, bloom, music, anything they change. There should be a toggle for it. I mean, it's not just like for like nitpicking, accessibility as well. Some people might, sure, they added like the brightness option, but the bloom was still there, and in some areas it was overbearing. So it's always nice to have an option. It's not even like, actually, it's not even like something that's nice to do. It's a requirement. We're talking about a modern day remaster. It has to have that kind of stuff because it's become the standard for modern day games. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree with that. I guess maybe. I mean, we could just pray that they may patch in an option, but then again, I think all we're gonna get is just bug fixes, which is still good, but I mean, if they do add an option, that would be like a nice touch. But yeah, I don't think that's just setting my expectations just a little bit too high with what we're gonna get.
At the time that I start venting about this.
Also, wait, before that, if I had to pick like a song out of the entire soundtrack, one of my highest favorites would be Planet Wisp Act 2. I think, yeah, that track is better than the original. It captures the calmness the original one had, but it adds new stuff. Like I'm uploading the file right now, but listen to it. Personally, I loved it. Music is subjective. Music is subjective. Well, someone might enjoy it, someone else won't like it. It's just human nature.
But
Music is subjective.
It's very terrifying to realize that there are people out there that despise Victor McKnight, but that's besides the point. I think it's time that I start venting about this soundtrack, alright? So whenever I first heard most of these tracks, it was very jarring, to say the least. Like, I just didn't... Most of the songs that were revealed, I did not like. Like, I did not like Aquarium Park on the first listen. I do not like most of the Planet Wisp tracks. I do not like any of Tropical Resort. I do not like any of Sweet Mountain. It's just like, I don't know. With Tropical Resort, like, the piano sounds very, like, you know how whenever little Timmy goes on the piano and, like, slams the keys?
Yeah, but that was on purpose.
I know,
so
it
that's
sounds, it
dissonance. Sure, it doesn't fit in the track.
It doesn't sound that good. And then, like, with, Sweet Mountain, again, the freaking, like, not again, but, like, the synths at the very beginning sound awful. I remember I was on the way to going somewhere, and they revealed that, they revealed that gameplay with the new remixes, and I was just depressed the rest of the car ride. It was bad.
Damn.
And then the, Starlight Carnival, I actually kind of like Starlight Carnival. I like the rock remixes a bit. And then Planet Wisp, Act 1, it's like everything I despise about the Forces soundtrack put into a song that I love. It's offensive. I'm gonna say it's offensive, alright? If I ever see people tweeting about that, I better see trigger warnings. Act 2, on my first listen of Act 2, I didn't like it either. but then I listened to it like after I played the game, and it became one of my favorite songs in it. Because in the actual game, the sound effects are so like disgustingly loud that I could barely hear the original song.
I got one. Oh, sorry.
Then Aquarium Park, on my first listen, I didn't like it that much, but like the more and more I listen to it, I do kind of like it a bit. And then Asteroid Coaster, I'm gonna be honest with you, until like a day after playing the game, I didn't realize that Asteroid Coaster was remixed. It sounds so similar to the original.
Yeah,
Speaking
I
of,
can agree with
no
that.
remixes.
Some people said that about Starlight
I like
Carnival.
Yeah.
Starlight Carnival Act 1.
Speaking of no remixes,
Hey, all I'm gonna say.
Planet Wisps, all of Planet Wisp songs are locked by a paywall, and that makes me want to puke. Never do that again, Sega. And then Terminal Velocity. Terminal Velocity is God's gift to man. I love it. 10 out of 10. Don't like the final boss remix.
Yes.
Do you know why? Do you know why it
Yeah.
is? Because Juice
Right, please
No
tell
Way
us.
did that.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, he did the
Oh, yeah, the
boss
boss
themes
remixes
as
were really
well,
good.
and he did Starlight Carnival Act 1,
and-
and every remix
Was
that man
beautiful.
touched.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Love
Every single remix that man touched, he blessed the soundtrack.
Yeah. Jun
He
basically
Jun
had the Midas
Sonoe-
touch,
Velocity
man.
Act
Jun
2.
Turned
Sonoe
it
out
to
here
gold.
performing miracles like Jesus Christ. It's amazing.
Yeah, Terminal Velocity Act 2, I think, was the best on the whole soundtrack, in my opinion, because it felt like an SA2 song to me, like just because of the drum, like because it was the Sonic Adventure Music
Really?
Experience band, like which sent away, heads, yeah, that's why like if you hear the drums on that, like it's the same drummer. I don't know his name off the top of my head, but yeah, he goes absolutely ham on it. It feels like straight out of SA2, that song.
And then like
So
Speak
good.
With Your Heart.
what I do is I put this on 30
Speak With Your
minutes and I
Heart
just
is,
write.
Like, one of those songs in the original game that I really
Yeah,
like.
Speak With Your Heart, that was a huge disappointment.
yeah, that got-
like, I
that got a
listened-
big facelift.
I really like Speak With Your Heart, like the original, but then I listened to the new one. I remember I was playing it was on my first playthrough. I was told that the Speak With Your Heart remix was quote unquote embarrassing, and then I got to the credits, and I like. It was about to go to like the big beat drop, and then it just did like a little lo-fi thing, and I was laughing.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
The
I
rock
was so
version I really
surprised.
liked.
Yeah, that took me by surprise.
Like the other
That took me
remix.
surprise when I heard because you were explaining like.
I
the-
thought they would
the
keep
beat, and then
the
it's just-
symphony version,
Yeah, the symphony version was
but
really
they
good.
probably didn't
'cause,
put
like,
it in due to licensing.
I don't know.
because like the
'Cause,
OG
yeah, they
Speak
called
for
the
Your
orchestra.
Heart. The OG Speak for Your Heart is like is personally, and again, this is just my
That's-
opinion.
that's
It's my
easy
least
to
favorite.
I mean, listen,
vocal track
even
in the whole
the Reach
series.
for the Stars,
I think so. Speak With Your
even the
Heart.
Oh,
Reach
that
for the
is?
Stars remix is different.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
in the game.
Yeah.
In the game, it's different
I
to
like the symphony remix.
one.
Right,
I was like,
yeah.
damn, this is fire. Like, but the OG, I'm not a fan of. That's just my personal opinion, though.
In my opinion, the OG was okay. The symphony version was amazing, and then the new version is just worse than the OG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pretty much.
That's about it. As Moist Critical would say.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
They should have had the Werehog theme in it, by the way.
And on that note,
Where?
and on that
Yes,
note,
Werehog
we should
theme
end it
remix for
now.
Knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, overall, as a general package, I guess depending on which platform, I would say if you want to get Sonic Colors Ultimate, I think there's a good game there. I mean, there's a good game. Yes, it does have some issues which are slowly getting patched out, but I think it's a good port. Does
Yeah.
anyone agree or disagree with me on that?
When it comes to
Here for me personally, I think that as someone who has not played the original, I definitely feel like I got my $40 worth out of it. But like for like someone who has played the original and was asking me, I would say go on Dolphin and emulate it. Especially with not plugging, but especially with the Temzy HD pack. on Dolphin. It's that's I think that's the definitive
Small
way to
plug.
play Sonic Colors if you've never played it before. But
I'd say,
I
yeah. Sorry, finish.
yeah, I think I got my money out of it, like, as someone who's never played the game, but for people that have put hours into it, you know, played it on the Wii and all that, I don't think the new stuff that was added is worth the price of admission, personally.
Okay, so if you look past, okay, this is gonna be a stretch, but if you look past the broken UI, the so-so remixes, the ranging in quality, the rival rush, and all the jank, I think personally it's an upgrade in terms of gameplay than the original. I don't know, that's just me, because I'm able to play it in 60 with less bugs than Dolphin, because they brought in new bugs, but in Aquarium Park there was this one bug that occurred due to the 60 FPS patch, which when you're skydiving, if you just touch the stick even once, Sonic will clip through the wall, and I'm glad they got that fixed in like Ultimate with the 60 FPS. There's still a lot to be fixed, but personally I think I had a better experience playing Ultimate than Dolphin.
Yeah,
And some areas just look generally better.
Yeah,
like Planet Wisp.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Temzy. I think gameplay-wise, I think it's worth it, because basically at the end of the day, it's simply Sonic Colors, just with a fresh coat of paint on modern consoles hardware, with, you know, a few additions there, and basically it's just, we've got it just to keep us preoccupied until Sonic Origins and Sonic Rangers comes out next year. So I think it's worth your money. It's a nice distraction just to keep us fans and the community just occupied until the next big game.
I would say Sonic Colors is definitely worth it for multiple reasons, like accessibility, like I mentioned earlier. Like, it was only for Wii and DS. Those aren't really sold anymore unless you want to use one. But if you get Sonic Colors Ultimate, you can play it on a newer console. So it's like, how much do you love Sonic Colors? Or if you've never played this game before, it's something to look forward to. It's not terrible. Like, the glitches I don't think, absolutely ruin this game. But I think it's a newcomer coming into Sonic Colors, like Eldarin said earlier, you're gonna enjoy it. It's a fun game.
Alright, so hear me out here. Sonic Colors is the 2020 equivalent of Sonic Adventure DX. Alright,
I don't even think DX was that bad.
I feel like it is just as bad.
Hey, do not speak bad about the king.
Shush, listen, alright? So it has a very similar bugs. There are graphical issues. There are a few audio bugs. There are, they add like certain parts that are like new features that are unnecessary, like the missions and the rival rush. And then the music isn't remixed in DX, thankfully, but just like, and then like, again, the visuals are messed up. Metal Sonic, I guess Metal Sonic's kind of cursed. When you make a remaster with Metal Sonic, it's just automatically bad. But this game itself is still fantastic. It's still a really good game. If you put all of the garbage aside, like a maniac, you can still have a really good time here.
Yeah,
like,
that's basically what I said. Yeah.
I was gonna bring something else up, but I feel like I'm rolling a blank here. You know what? DX was better because it had Game Gear gameplay. All right, moving on.
Bro, I just love DX. I love it.
DX is incredibly based.
DX hurts me.
And I respect that.
I think Colors. I like low key, like,
You're
I
a very
kinda,
respectful
like,
person, Sonicsta.
I can vouch. Absolutely.
The DX models are better than the
I just got that one. But I respect.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Matthias
I'm gonna
Coconuts will
end
not
the stream.
agree with you.
I'm just gonna. Yeah.
Although, cut out my paint joke. That flopped horribly. Cut out the paint joke. Yeah.
Alright, that's pretty much it for the whole this discussion video slash podcast because it's gone way longer than I thought it was gonna be.
Just like my Temzy show.
I'm still waiting for that invite, Temzy. But yeah, thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Yeah, so thank you so much to Eldarin, XPool, Sonicsta, and the Temzy.
Yes, sir.
I will link their channels in the description. Please check them out. They're great content creators, much better than me.
Don't talk bad about
That's saying a
yourself.
lot.
That's not happening.
Oh, come on, bro. Don't do that to you. Don't do that to yourself, bro. Come on, bro. You make good content.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining in on this long ass discussion video. Yeah. So I guess I will say is I've been Super Saiyan Sonic, and thank you so much for tuning in. Take care.
Oh shit, I should probably stop recording right now.